Well, hello, Expandacraft fans. We have an almost complete Sprite, I'm calling this one. Green, yellow, lemon, lime, like the drink, Sprite. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this boat. It's a 16-foot, 9-inch Expandacraft outrigger kit on a 15-foot flatback canoe. I'm going to show you something. If you'll notice, the tips of the bows, sterns, go beyond the stern of this boat, as opposed to this 15-foot canoe with a 12-foot outrigger. Plenty enough for stability reasons. And if you'll notice, the sterns are almost even. But with the larger 6 horsepower motor, which is honestly more power than you really need. I did a test. Full throttle is 12 miles an hour on this boat with the 6 horse. But when I went just a crack above idle, I got 8 miles per hour and 40 miles per gallon. Yes, 40 miles per gallon. 40 miles, because the internal tank only holds a quart on this boat, which I found out after coming back after this expedition we took. It holds a quart, and I got 10 miles. So eventually I'm going to put a bimini top on there, much like black and tan here. You can see this is black and tan. This is a 16-footer. Now if you'll notice, with this boat, the bows are just a little in front of the bow of the canoe. And in the back, it's right about even. What you'll also notice is this one has a rudder. It's set up for sailing. And the motor is somewhat inboard and off to one side. It's an electric. Top speed's about 6 knots, miles per hour-ish. And it'll go all day on a 100 amp hour battery. Now, another thing I'm going to try to point out with the camera, that you'll notice that this boat is really, really flat on the bottom. And I chose to use the tall risers. Now, these are the old risers. I don't actually sell them anymore, but we do have tall risers. They just connect differently, that's all. So the Expandacraft hull appears to be maybe even an inch or 2 lower than the lowest point of the canoe. And it'll be interesting to see what that does, as opposed to this one, which you can see fairly easy because it's almost equal. The bottom of the canoe is about the same as the bottom of the outriggers. But remember, those are 12-footers. This is a 16-footer. And we're going to see, if you subscribe, you're going to see the performance of this boat, how it performs. Oh, and there's more. Just wait till I get to it. I think that the sterns of the bow, of the outrigger being aft will help with the squat, because with the other boat it did squat a little bit. I had to actually put a person all the way forward to make it go even keel. This boat, I think, because it's a 16-foot outrigger kit, well, remember, both of these canoes are 15-foot flatbacks, just that one has a 12 and the other is 16 Expandacraft outrigger. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Now, I did something neat here. Look at this. It's soft and grippy. It's a 3M product. And it stops that shine that comes up from the raw aluminum. Typically, I like to, when the raw aluminum comes out, I'll just throw salt water on it and let it gray out as quickly as possible. But with this one, not only did I put, oh yeah, swivel chair. That's the bomb. Swivel chair. I'll give you the logo there. Yes, I bought it. It's Chinese, but because I couldn't get an American-made one that I could find. Anyway, I also, if you look right here, I put the same material on the cross tubes so that when the metal on metal, it used to be that at a certain harmonic resonance of the engine, it would rattle, brrr, annoying. Well, that won't happen anymore. It's going to be quiet. This thing's going to be super quiet. If you're doing idle speed or just a crack above idle speed on this Expandacraft outrigger kit with that gas motor, it's pretty quiet. You can have a conversation over it. It's not like electric, but you know, electric has its limitations, and gas-powered engines, well, you know, it's gasoline. You're going to have maintenance, and sometimes they just quit and you don't know why. If an electric motor quits, you pretty well know why. Anyway, not a debate about whether to go electric or gas, but this Sprite we're going to test out in the water. Expandacraft.com. I'm going to put a little sail on that too, by the way. This is an expedition boat. Fill in the gap in the middle with some removable panels, and then you have an 8-foot by 8-foot deck space. That's 8-foot beam, 8 feet wide, 8 feet by 8 feet long. Put a tent on there for 2. You've probably seen that with Black and Tan. We have that one, except that one, of course, has the wood decking. The wood decking I made because at the time I could not get aluminum. It was just not acquirable. It wasn't on the market. Couldn't find it. For months I was without aluminum. And that may be the case again sometime in the near future. Well, here you go, folks. Expandacraft.com. Please follow us, like us, make a comment. Let me know what you think. Oh, by the way, for those of you who say, why don't you go just buy a real boat, yada, yada, yada. It's because this I can still take apart and use as a canoe. Just a canoe. I can stick it on the roof of my truck. Everything else fits in the bed of the truck. I don't even need a trailer. It's on a trailer, but I don't need one. This particular model has the clamp-on style. Doesn't make me drill any holes in the canoe. And so if I decide that I need to slide those holes forward, I can do so with just a turn of a few screws, then tighten it back up. Again, Expandacraft.com.